Hi and welcome to another of my Zoom video tutorial movies. In this tutorial I'm going to take a quick look at the waiting rooms feature. You may have noticed that after doing a Zoom update that waiting rooms is now enabled by default. Zoom are treating security issues and threats to meetings seriously, and implementing waiting rooms is part of the response to improve security. Waiting rooms does add an extra step to starting up a Zoom meeting, so I'll show you at the end of this tutorial how you can disable the waiting room function if you want to. Let's take a look at the process. I'm going to go down to the bottom of the Zoom window, to the Zoom toolbar. I'll click the Manage Participants button to show the Participants panel on the right hand side. Now I can click the Invite button at the bottom, and I'm going to invite my good friend Sid. You'll see that I've already set up Sid as a contact, and a little bit of interface detail here. Notice the green dot that tells me that Sid is available. His computer is switched on and he's logged into Zoom. So my invite is not going to fall on deaf ears. I'll just click his contact button, then I'll click the invite button down in the bottom right hand corner. You'll see a notification briefly up in the top right hand corner of my screen that the invite has been sent. Next, let's take a look at what happens Sid side, so to speak. So here we are Sid side. Here's the invitation he's getting. Desperate for a chat, Sid clicks the accept button straight away and gets the video preview window. Combs his hair, puts on aftershave, and then joins with video. And now what you've been waiting for, he goes into the waiting room for the meeting. Now let's leave Sid sitting comfortably in anticipation and go back to Rob's computer screen. Now in the participants panel I can see there's one person waiting. And the one thing you may have to do here, you may have to move your cursor onto the participant, in this case Sid, to show the admit button. As long as I trust this guy's credentials, and I think I do, I'll click to admit him. If you have more than one invitee in your waiting room, you have the option to admit everyone at the same time. I'll click admit. And in he comes. Well, he must have just popped out to get a cup of tea. Hi Sid, you could have tidied your room. Lovely aftershave. So that's how waiting rooms work. The feature gives you the opportunity to ID people at the door and keep out the riffraff. And that's a good and useful security measure that is definitely worth keeping in place if you've got any concerns about security levels in your meetings. But you can switch off waiting rooms. In the toolbar at the bottom of the meeting window, click the security button and then click enable waiting rooms to switch off the waiting room functionality. However, you will find that the next time you start a new meeting, waiting rooms are back on as a default. Personally, I'd just leave the option enabled to retain that extra level of security for your meetings. Combs his hair, puts on aftershave is a Paul Simon reference in case it rang a bell. We all like Paul Simon, I'm absolutely certain, well almost certain, but would you just like to like me as well, please? Thanks, see you next time.